That said, we're going to receive our next guest right now. I'm smiling already. I like that. I mean, she's just 21 years old and she's an achiever already. She is the president of the University of Boya Midwifery Students Association. She's also an award winner, 2020 Most Impactful Student, Best Youth Leader, and she has a book. She's ASHU Martha. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Wow. Welcome to the program. And tell us why you have such a passion for women and children.
Well, you know, nowadays a lot of women still die in labor. A lot of women still have a lot of challenges during delivery and all through the pregnancy period. So I find it very passionate to, you know, look into their interests and take care of them.
Was it always something you liked as a child? You're just 21. When did you build up this passion?
Actually, no, I haven't always loved it. You know, I grew to love it. You know, you find passion you find passion in consistency.
Yes.
When you're consistent in doing something. So all through my internship period and every other thing, you know, when you encounter the women, you get to hear their experiences, their challenges, you find more passion into helping them.
Is that why you have this social media platform, MARTHIE'S Midwifery Diary? Tell us about it.
MARTHIE'S Midwifery Diary is a social media advocacy page, basically just on social media for now, and it aims to bridge the gap between women and their health. Yeah, because there is a really wide gap between women and their health. There may be, for example, infections women have, but they are not aware. Science may be prevailing, but they are not aware. It may actually result in probably a preconception issue in the future.
All right, let's get on to what I'm holding right now. It's your book, Own Your Pregnancy, MARTHIE'S Midwifery Diary. How did the idea to have a book like this come up?
Well, all through still from getting the challenges from the women in the field, because you know, with respect to school, because I'm a final year student in the University of Boya, Faculty of Health Science, and usually we have just 3 months in class and then the rest we spend at the hospital. So during my stay at the hospital doing internship, I don't just go for internship like a regular student. I go there with a vision, with an in-depth or insight of what I want to get from these women. And with that, I was able to encounter, like share their challenges, share their difficulties, and I was able to come out with this because I discovered there was a very big gap in the knowledge. They came to the hospital with less anxiety or less agitation to get knowledge. So I believe this book was able to help them to you know, get more knowledge about the pregnancy.
Now, in the book, you start with rules to own your pregnancy. You talk about confidence, happiness, and beating depression. How did you come up with these topics?
Well, there's something called postpartum depression.
Yeah.
You know, women who deliver often fall into depression after delivery, especially those who have their first babies.
Yeah.
So, helping to address this, you know, is going to give them a sense of you're not alone. You know, there's somebody who understands what you're going through out there, and you know, the world is full of CAMEROUN itself. It's not easy out here nowadays. So, giving someone that feeling is already more than enough to help them combat that challenge.
I won't go through all the chapters of the book, but there are a few things that stood out for me. I'm going to go to chapter 1. You talk about the do's and don'ts of pregnancy. We have the usual ones we already know, but interestingly, you talked about hot baths, colored pants, and radiation. How are those important?
Well, let me begin with colored pants. That's the most important. Now, when women come for antenatal or generally all through their pregnancy, we always advise them to put on white pants, because when you put on a white pant, it's easier for you to detect changes in your vaginal discharges. But then when you put on something colorful, for example, green, and you know, you cannot easily detect the changes. So it's preferable to put on white. And now radiations, there is a certain level of there's a certain number of echographies pregnant women are advised to go through, because you know, in as much as it is good, you know, you can easily detect the sex of your baby, you can detect if there are abnormalities and all that with echography, but then it has its own disadvantages. So with that, still radiations are not good for the baby in utero, that's in the stomach.
See, there's the loads more, and I wouldn't go on to that. You have to get the book to read it. But then in chapter 6, you talk about preparations during delivery for the mom and baby. This is something that is overlooked. I was happy to see it here. Talk about the preparation, why it's important.
Yeah, okay. The preparation is very important because, you know, proper preparations prevent disgrace, or prevents a whole lot of mental shabals. So for these women to know what they need to have before they get into the labor room is a plus to the labor process, because we always say labor is a natural process, but then when you don't prepare well, it becomes stressful, and that's already a minus to your delivery process. So when the woman gets to know that, okay, I need to have my towel, I need to have a loin, I need to have a nightwear, I need to have my baby's clothes and everything in place, everything goes on smoothly, and she's confident about her body, about her delivery.
And nothing beats preparation, and you've just mentioned right now, even in pregnancy, sometimes you get wrapped up in the excitement of having the baby, you get there and you're unprepared. You get into a lot of trouble, and midwives don't like that, and I think that's why you're underlining it. But then you also mentioned antenatal care in chapter 2, I think. That's something that some women think they can do without, but maybe tell them why they shouldn't.
Antenatal care is generally very important because, during antenatal care, it's equally referred to as antenatal classes.
Okay.
Because, you're like a student there. Pregnancy, especially for first-time mothers, pregnancy is new to you. Your body is still adapting. So you need to, familiarize yourself with it. And you can only familiarize yourself with it when you get more knowledge about it. So during the antenatal care classes, we teach you about what you should do. For example, the pants color you should put on. We teach you what to do, what to eat, how to live healthy during that period so you have a healthy baby. And all that generally, antenatal care prevents maternal mortality and neonatal mortality. That's the death of the mother after birth and the child.
And the child. And we definitely don't want that. The book is Own Your Pregnancy, Marthie's Midwifery Diary, a book it's not that big. For those who are afraid of reading, you won't take too much time to go through all of this. There are great nuggets of wisdom here. But then where can we get this book?
Well, there are stop points. At Limbe, you can get it at the TAF pharmacy. In Boya, you can get it at the University of Boya. Yes. And in Yaoundé, you can get it at Olezwa.
Yeah. All right. So, Martha, how does it feel like winning awards already at this young age? I hope you're not having a big head out of this.
Well, it feels fulfilling, it feels achieving, but then, with all the awards that come in at this young age, as you mentioned, you have more responsibilities. Even though I'm the last child, when I say responsibilities, I mean, like, you have more people looking up to you, so you have to set the pace.
So what's next for ASHU Martha in the next 10 years?
Well, I think it's with respect to the diary. I probably will take the diary to the level of an NGO, to reach out and connect more with pregnant women and their families, their babies.
Okay. Do you like Mike Munster?
Of course I do.
His music, have you bought the recent album?
No, I haven't. The Clinic album.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Vibes Clinic. And you're into medicine, so it vibes, definitely. He's going to be with us in a moment. That will be immediately after this break.